And welcome to episode 23 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah, who I think you might have just seen at the beginning there. So, social media wise, I'll put it over here. You can find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry. We've also got a group for the podcast on Ravelry, which is called Tales of Yarnia, and you can also find my knitting patterns on there too. Right, we have got a couple of bits of admin, so we'll whiz through that and move on to the nitty-gritty of the podcast. Bear with me a second. Okay, so first thing is the giveaway for the Snow Day cowl, which is a gorgeous pattern which has recently been released by my lovely friend Becky Norman of the Bird Box podcast. She really kindly offered to give away a copy of the pattern on my podcast, and I've just drawn for a winner. To enter, you had to comment on last episode saying what you would plan to do on a snow day, and the winner was, I did random number generator, and the winner was Rachel West, who said she would drink green tea and knit, which does sound like the perfect way to spend a snow day to me. So I will pass your details on to Becky. Actually no, we need to know your Ravelry ID so that she can gift you the pattern. So Rachel, if you contact me with your Ravelry username, I will pass that on to Becky, and then we can gift you the pattern. Oh, can you tell that was the first time I've done a pattern giveaway? Right, so next thing is the Hohi Locatelli cowl, which ended last episode. There is still one person yet to contact me for their prize, so I will give you until next episode. I can't remember what your username was. Let me just double check. It was Crafty Bubulina. I'll give you until next episode to contact me with your shipping address for the prize, and if I don't hear from you, I will redraw for the prize. Because I would like it to go to someone who actually watches the podcast and just seems better that way. So, moving on, I think that was it really for little announcements and bits of admin. We do have a pattern release to talk about. Last episode, I think I had finished the Jonah Hat, and the pattern has now been released. So this is the hat. Here is the hat. If I can show you it in all of its glory, the pattern. I'm not going to put it on today because I've tried to make my hair look sort of normal, and if I put this hat on, it's going to go horribly wrong. If you do want to see it on, you can either check out last episode 22, yeah. 22 is the number before 23. So yeah, you can check out last episode because I did wear it throughout the entire episode. Or you can check out the Ravelry page. And there is still 20% off the pattern to celebrate the release. And the code, I believe, is Jonah20, all lowercase. And that is still 20% off until the end of tomorrow, which will be Sunday the 21st of October. So if you'd like to get it and get your 20% off, you've got till then. But yeah, I can't wait until it's cold enough to actually wear this now. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, the yarn I used was from the Yarn Lab UK, and it's on her DK base, and it's the Guardian colourway. And then I found this magical pom-pom, which was from an Etsy shop called Two Little Rainbows, and I just love it. It's just so fluffy, and I love how huge it is as well. So it's just a real statement pom-pom on top of that. So yeah, that's the Jonah Hat. I'll link to everything that I talk about, all Etsy shops and patterns and things, in the down bar just below. As a sort of way of doing show notes, I'll just include a direct link to everything there. Okay. Jonah's just fallen asleep by my feet under the table. He's turning into such a lazy dog, he really is. He was 2 years old in July, so he is sort of turning into an adult dog now, I think. But he is just, half the time he's mental and just running around the house like a lunatic. And then the other half of the time, he's just conked out asleep somewhere and is too lazy to get up even if we call him. He's like, no, I'm just staying in bed. Anyway, dog tangent over. Moving on. I don't have any FOs to show you this week. I've got no finished objects, but I did have, was it 4 last episode? Can't remember. I remember I had quite a few to show you last episode, so can't win them all. So first whip I'm going to show you is a really exciting one, and it is a new sock design which I did partly show you. I showed you the progress I'd done on it last episode. I've now finished one sock, so I have a hoe, half finished object. So I'm just going to pop it onto the sock blocker. I think it might be easier to see the pattern. I'll just show you. This is the one finished sock I've done so far. This is a collaboration from the lovely John and Claire of Bird Street UK and Mr. B's Yarns. And this is their ephemera colourway. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. I'm going to pop this on the sock blocker just so you can see the pattern properly. Okay. Right, there you go. That does look a bit better actually. It's easier to see what the pattern is. So I did post about this on Instagram, I think it's a couple of days ago, but this, I've given it a name now. They're going to be the Acorn Socks, which is, my friend Wendy suggested the name because I was struggling to think of one. I didn't want to just call them the Acorn Socks, but I wanted it to have something to do with acorns. So we went with acorn, which is apparently Old English for acorn. So I just thought it was a little bit different, and I quite like the word. So this little lace motif pattern up here, I thought looked quite a lot like acorns. I thought it was very fitting for this time of year, and I thought this neutral speckled yarn worked really, really well with a more of a detailed lace pattern. Can you just see these little gorgeous little speckles? So it's got sort of like little speckles of yellow and pink and browns. It's just gorgeous. I love it. So I really like the idea of doing a sort of a simple ribbed sock and then just having one section with some lace detail. They are worked toe up, so you sort of work through all the ribbing and the heel of the sock, and then you've still got the lace to look forward to at the end. So I found that I worked through the first sock really quickly up to here because I was like, I just really want to get onto the lace. So I thought that was quite good, motivation-wise. And yeah, so the pattern's currently in testing, and I'm hoping it will be released around middle of November, beginning to middle of November. I haven't selected an exact date yet because I need to figure out what I'm working, which days I'm off, and all that stuff. So yeah, these will be the acorn socks. And I'm just on the second one at the moment. I've literally just started the toe. But that will be, oh, sorry, that was a bit close. There you can see these little sections of speckles, and I'll show you the ball as well. Gorgeous. It's so soft as well. It's just such lovely yarn to work with. It's so soft and also really squishy and bouncy, and I really love the fabric it's creating. So yeah, I'm really enjoying those, and I'm so excited to finish the second sock as well. So I'll put this away. I think that was everything I needed to say about that. Oh, I didn't show you their the ball round actually. Here you go, it's Mr. B, and there you go. Yeah. Right, another sip of tea, and we'll move on to the next whip. Okay, so my next whip is living in my Hikari handmade bag, which I love so much. It's huge and it fits so much in it. And living in here is my Wheezy Sweater. And I think the last time I'd shown it to you, I'll just get it out and I'll show you where the marker was. So the last time I podcast, I was halfway through the letter R, I believe. Yeah, I think I was. Can't quite remember, but I've now finished the letter R, and I'm just going round and round in stockinette on the body. So I'm okay with how it's working up so far. I think I really messed up doing the colour work. I think it's just my inexperience with intarsia, and when I'd started, I think I went through all of this on the last episode, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but in the end, when I wove it in all of these ends that I ended up with, because I tried to do intarsia without doing short rows, because I thought it would look weird on the sweater doing short rows. I thought I might end up with a bit of a visible seam on the outside, but yeah, I ended up with, so I'm just trying not to dip this in my tea. I'll just move my tea. I ended up with loads of the yarn showing through, and you can now sort of see it's gone a little bit uneven. All the stitches are a little bit uneven around there. I'm hoping it might fix a little bit with blocking, because blocking fixes stuff, doesn't it? But it's not too bad, and I've spent so long doing it now, there's no way I'm ripping it all the way back. Because this sweater, I think I've started it about 4 times. So I just want to get it done now, really. And yeah, I think when it's blocked, it should even out a little bit. And I think from this sort of distance, you can't really tell that it's that uneven. So we'll just see. We'll see how it looks when it's blocked. But yeah, the pattern I'm sort of basing this off, just for the basic sweater, is the Flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. I'm obviously not including the garter. There's like a garter panel included in the pattern which goes down the sleeves, which I'm not including. I'm just doing plain stockinette all the way around. And yeah, this is going to be either, well, depending on when I finish it, either a birthday or a Christmas present for my sister. So, because she's a huge Harry Potter fan, and I think she's wanted a Weasley sweater for a little while. And she designed my logo as well for the podcast, so this is sort of a thank you for that. So, yeah. I am really pleased with how it looks now, actually, holding it up. I think I've got to do maybe like 4 or 5 more inches on the body, and then I'm onto the ribbing, and then the sleeves. So that's quite exciting. I'm looking forward to getting this done. This has been one of the main things that I've been working on, just because I feel like I've got too many projects on the needles now. I think my limit is around 4 until I start thinking, okay, I need to get some off the needles. So I think I've got 6 projects on the go at the moment. So ideally I want to finish a few of those. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, the yarn I'm using, I have said before, it's Willow and Lark. On the, what was the base? I've got another one in here, hang on. Ramble, Willow and Lark Ramble. And I do really love this yarn. I think I would definitely use it again for a sweater. It's really, really soft. It is very affordable. I think here in the UK you can buy it from loveknitting.com. I don't know where else stocks it. But it's 100% wool, and it is really, really soft. It feels as soft as merino to me, even though it's not. But yeah. So the main colour is this navy, and then obviously for the letter R I did like this light grey. So yeah, pretty pleased with this so far. Although I did have a few hiccups. At least now I'm just on the stockinette knitting all the way round and round. So it's nice mindless knitting. Oh, and I've got my little mermaid progress keeper. Oh God, that is, sorry if I just blinded anyone. I think that just reflected the sun at you all. Sorry. I'll try and not do that. There you go. So yeah, it's this cute little mermaid progress keeper. And that's from Yarnistry. here in the UK. It was a set of 4 that I've got, but I only need 1 on here now, so I've just got 1 mermaid on her own. Yeah. Right, pop this away. Right, another sip of tea, and then I've got a new not a new UFO. I've got a new whip to show you that you won't have seen before. So the new whip is living in this cute little project bag. I don't think I've shown this for a little while. This is from Thimble thread, and it's just like one of her small, I think it's like a sock-sized project bag, but it is not socks which are living in here. This is a new cast on. I'll show you the yarn first, just to keep the suspense. And it's the Yarn Lab UK on her DK base. I think I bought this at the same time as I bought her Guardian colourway, and this one is her Butterbeer colourway, and I really love the bright pops of yellow, and then you've also got these sections of purple, which are really cool, and obviously because it's Butterbeer, it's Harry Potter themed, which is super exciting. I love everything Harry Potter, so yeah, I'm using this for some mitten patterns. Not mitten patterns, it's one pattern, one design that I'm doing, and it's going to be the Jonah mittens, which, yes, it's going to be the exact same cable pattern that's on the Jonah hat, but on some matching mittens. So this is what I've done so far. And you can just see, so we've got the 2 little circle cables at the sides, and then I've just done 1 repeat of the main cable pattern with the little eyelets in. So I'll just see if I can just pop this on actually. Oh. So yeah, this is what we've got so far. And I really like how it's working up in this yarn as well. So yeah, that's what I've done so far. Sorry about that. I did not realise that Jonah was drinking and making a huge noise. Anyway, I think I was showing you these Jonah mittens. So, as with the hat, I wanted to start the little cables right from the start with sort of in amongst the ribbing. And I quite like how that's going. And the reverse side is just going to be stockinette. Just because I think it's nice to have quite a lot of just mostly knitting rounds as well. Because this isn't really a complicated cable pattern. You have quite a lot of rows where you just knit and purl, and you don't have to do any cabling. And that's the same as on the hat as well, which is quite fun. Because it's quite nice when you don't have to think and read a chart on every single row, and you sort of get little breaks from that. I find that the knitting goes a lot quicker when you get little breaks from that, but it does actually, I think it still looks quite intricate, and quite effective. So yeah, these are the Jonah mittens. I did do a little poll on Instagram, because I wasn't sure whether to do fingerless mittens or full mittens. I think I wanted to have some fingerless mittens for me to wear, because I find it easier to still drive whilst wearing them and warp Jonah. So I just thought that made more sense for me, and I wanted to make sure that other people weren't completely averse to fingerless mittens. So, because I like the look of both, but I'm just going to stick with fingerless mittens because that's what I wanted to do. And it is my design, so I might as well make it what I want. So yeah, these are the Jonah mitts. They are knitting up pretty quick, so once I've finished one, I will put a call out for test knitters. I think I'm only going to be doing one size, just because if I do a smaller size than this, the cable pattern won't fit on. But as with the hat, you can adjust the size slightly by going up or down a needle size. If you wanted to make them much smaller, I'm guessing you could use sport weight yarn and a smaller needle size. Yeah, that should, in theory, work. But I haven't tried it, so... But yeah, I'm just going to be doing the one size, just because the cable pattern physically won't fit onto a smaller mitten than this. So, yes. Right, I'm going to pop that away. And how many things have I got left to show? I've still got 2 whips to show you. Sorry if I'm dragging this out a bit too much. Right, the next whip is one which I think I just started and not done very much on the last time I podcast. Living in my homespun house bag with llamas on it. And living in here is my soiree sweater. Now I have made a little bit of progress on this since the last time I podcast, but it's not been my main focus. It's been my sort of treat yourself knitting once I've made significant progress on the Wheezy Sweater. But I'm absolutely loving it. I'm so in love with this pattern and the yarn. I think the combination of the two is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. If I do say so myself. So if I just show you what I've done so far. Ooh, oh, sorry, I keep going a little bit too close too soon. I'll try and refrain from launching myself at you. But here we go. So I think I had literally only just done a couple of rows the last time, but now you can sort of see how the cable pattern is working up. So at each of the sides leading up to the underarms is this section, and then along the front and the back of the sweater is the stockinette section. So oh no, my stitch! No, hang on, I'm losing stitches. This is not professional in the slightest. Oh dear. Okay, panic over. I managed to catch them. But yes, it does roll up quite a bit as I'm working on it. But when I come to block it, that can hopefully be fixed, I think. So, oh yeah, I've got my little pumpkin progress keeper on here from Jiggles and Beans. I love it. Can you see how fluffy this is? The yarn is from New Zealand, and it's a company called Touch Yarns. And the content is possum and... is it merino and possum? Hang on. It's 60% merino wool, 30% possum fur and 10% silk. So pretty interesting fibre to work with. And I'm really enjoying working with it. It's really soft, and it's a bit like what's that everyone's using? Mohair. It's a little bit like mohair in that it's very hairy. If you can see there. But yeah, I love it. It's just such a joy to work with, and I think the stitch definition is also really nice, even though it's got this sort of hairy halo. Oh gosh. But yeah, I just love this section with it's sort of like a honeycomb. I love honeycomb stitch. Mini cables. Love it. So, and I love this colour as well. I had to cast this on in the autumn. I think it's just like perfect autumn colour. And then here's the yarn. You see the yeah, it's just so lovely to work with. I think I would even consider ordering more for future sweaters if this turns out really well, even though it's all the way from New Zealand, because it's just so lovely. Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to dedicate more time to work on this, because it's just such a relaxing but fun knit. Because you have with this project, you've got quite a few rows where you sort of have rest rows, I think you could describe it as, where you don't have to do any cabling and it's just sort of knits and purls. And I really enjoy that. And I look forward to getting to the next big twist in the cable and seeing all of the cables work up. It's just so fun. So yeah, can't wait to see this grow, and I can't remember how long it gets until you split for the sleeves, because it's a cropped sweater, so it might not take quite as long as I think. But it's the sort of project where I don't want it to end. It's definitely a process knit. Is that what you call it? I can't remember. What do we call it? Is it process knits or... Oh, I've forgotten the words. But I'm enjoying the process of making this. I think it is process knit. For me, this is a process knit. I'm really enjoying the process of making it. I think I've said the word process way too much now, so I'm going to put this away. So, I've got one more whip to show you. And this one's living in this cute autumnal project bag from Conchetta. Her company is called Butternut Handmade. Isn't it just so cute? And it's perfect for autumn. Everything's orange. All the orange! Sorry. Right, so living in here is a sock. It's currently one sock. There will be two eventually. And this is a pair of socks I'm knitting for Jimmy, either for Christmas or for his birthday. Depends when I finish them. And I think last time I must have been here. Must have been up to here last time. So I've done quite a bit more, but I've pretty much just been working on this, waiting at appointments, and it's just sort of been my waiting room knitting. So I think that's pretty good progress for time spent in waiting rooms. I've done quite a bit of waiting over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, but I'm really enjoying how this is working up. It's here's the ball, and it's West Yorkshire Spinners. And I believe, oh, it doesn't say the names on here, but I believe it was the Goldfinch. Oh no, it's not the Goldfinch, it's the Bullfinch. Bullfinch colourway. And he picked this out himself for a pair of socks. And I thought it looked kind of spooky and Halloweeny, so I stuck my Jiggles and Beans glow-in-the-dark ice lolly vampire on here. Which is super exciting. I love it. I'm a bit obsessed with Jiggles and Beans progress keepers. I've also got a gingerbread man. So I'm going to have to, once it gets a bit closer to the festive season, I'm going to break that out as well. But there's no limits on when you can use festive progress keepers and festive yarns. So, but yeah, making, I think, fairly decent progress on these, and really enjoying just knitting around on a vanilla sock. So those are the 5 projects I've been working on. I've not made any progress on my fading point. It's sort of just waiting for me to pick it back up at the moment. I feel like I need to finish the Wheezy Sweater, and then I like to have designs on the go all the time as well. And yeah, I can't really take the fading point to appointments and waiting rooms, so because it's too big. So I take this just because I can knit round and round and don't have to think about it. So I think that covers everything whip-wise. I did want to talk about a little bit of future knitting, or yeah, there's one project I've definitely got lined up to cast on soon, and I've been seeing everyone's sort of festive socks that they're making. People are sort of gearing up for the Christmas gift giving season, so a lot of people are knitting festive socks, or socks with festive patterns, or in festive yarns, and I really want to join in with that. And I thought I really enjoyed knitting my Woodland Wanderer socks last year. I think the pattern was released was it in November last year? So I've decided I'm going to knit another pair. And I've ordered some yarn for it. Last time I did it in just a really dark, it was like a deep dark green. I should have brought this down to show you. I'll go and get it. Sorry, I just ran upstairs to go and grab this sock. Hello, Jonah. And I launched myself back down on the chair and Jonah jumped on me. He wants to get involved quite a lot today. So, oof. Jonah, this isn't professional. This is not professional. Okay, I'm just getting them on the sock blocker. So, get all the dog hair off them. Okay, so this was one of the Woodland Wanderer socks. So, can't really see it that well actually. I'll turn it around, sort of, so you can see the pattern that runs up the front of the sock. So it's these sort of Nordic inspired trees in this lace motif. Thank you, Jonah. And 2 little cables that run up the side of the sock as well, and they go all the way up. And then on the back, you have like a double mini cable run straight up the back of the sock. So I thought I really enjoyed knitting these last year, so I thought, why not knit another pair? So the yarn that I bought, or I just ordered, for my next pair is from Eden Cottage Yarns, and I think it was the woodland, something to do with woodland colourway. It's going to be mostly, I think it's a mostly neutral or undyed skein, but then it's got little speckles of really dark green, like a really dark forest green, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how that works up with this pattern. Gonna knit another pair of these, and I'm really excited for the yarn to arrive so that I can start working that up. But as we've already discussed, I need to finish a few more whips before that can happen. So, sorry, I'm shaking the dog hair off. That's how it's done. So I've got just a couple of acquisitions to show you. Let me just reach for the first one. Oh, I'll drag them over here. So the first one is a little skein, not a skein, a ball of self-striping yarn by Twisted Limone. And here's her tag. She creates the most stunning self-striping balls of yarn, and they all come balled up in a gobstopper ball. And this was, I got this in a when she released some pre-orders for her art yarns. And I can't remember how many stripes it is, how many different colours. But you get, I can't even see all of the different colours that you get in here. So she don't think she dyes these very often, because obviously they must be so time intensive to do so many different colours in one ball of yarn. But I just had to show it to you. So this will be a very special cast on when I break into this. At the moment, this precious ball of yarn is just sitting in my stash on display so that I can just pick it up and have a look at it and squish it and then put it back, but I'll cast that on at some point. But yeah, not yet, because that's going to be a special cast on. And then the other acquisition that I've got is this skein of Moonstone Dye Works, which arrived just the other day. And this is Tommy of Squirrel Pie Productions. Her hand-dyed yarn company is called Moonstone Dye Works, and she has the most wonderful podcast. She's currently doing the Vlogtober series, and it's really, really interesting to see her dyeing yarn and what she gets up to with her daughter Lucy, who I think she said she was 3 months old. Well, she must be nearly 3 months now. But yeah, it's just really fun to see what they get up to on a daily basis. And yeah, this is her Halloween colourway on the Stellina base. Oh yeah, you can see the sparkle there. It's just stunning. And it's called Graveyard. So I don't know if it'll be available anymore, but it's definitely worth checking out her shop to have a look, because all of her colourways are just absolutely gorgeous and stunning. Yeah, I love this one. It just looks really spooky and sort of ethereal, and so yeah, it's difficult not to cast things on straight away, but I need the perfect projects for every skein of yarn. The last acquisition I've got, even I can't show myself yet because it's an advent calendar. So I ordered the advent calendar from Dandelion and Dogwood, who was formerly the Little Tailoress, and it's in here. It arrived. I haven't even looked inside this bag yet, but I'm saving it till December the 1st, and it's going to be so exciting to open. I think it's a mini skein each day, and I think you get 100 gram skein on Christmas Day. So it's going to be exciting. I'm thinking about maybe doing Vlogmas this year through December. I think that would be quite fun to show what I open each day in the advent calendar as well. But I don't know how Vlogmas would work with my sort of work shift schedule, because I definitely wouldn't be able to put up a video every day, but maybe I could sort of have snippets from the days that I work and sort of compile that into a video. So yeah, it'd have to be sort of a every couple of days thing, I think. But I'm thinking of giving it a go, and just including some extra Christmassy vlog style videos, because it's not something I've ever done before. I thought it'd be quite fun to have a go, and then you can sort of get a bit of an insight on what we get up to on a daily basis. You probably get videos of Jonah just zooming around the house being a lunatic, because that's what happens a lot of the time, and then just videos of him sleeping. Yeah, so it's an idea. There was one other thing I wanted to mention quickly. I wanted to just chat about a new podcast which I've discovered, and I think it is a fairly new podcast as well. I think she's only got 3 episodes out so far, so it's easy to catch up on. And it's the Knitting Vicariously podcast on YouTube. Caroline is the host of the podcast, and she is absolutely hilarious. She has taken the knitting podcast world by storm. It's insane, but for good reason. She is Scottish, and she is a big fan of swear words and also a big fan of gin and drinking games, which makes for quite a fun first episode. Excuse me. I think, is it a first or second episode? She sort of has a drinking game as you go along. But at the time of day I was watching it, it wasn't really appropriate for me to break out the gin. Just sat on my own at like midday, midweek, so I didn't partake, but I might have to replay it at some point and have a go. But yeah, she's got a really, really lovely podcast. I think her username on Instagram is Dundonit, and she's currently at Rhinebeck, so she's uploading Instagram stories with little snippets of the trip, and yeah, we can all knit vicariously through that. So yeah, I just wanted to give her podcast a mention as one I would recommend, because it's really, really fun. And the projects that she's making are really, really beautiful, and yeah, definitely recommend giving that a watch. So I think that is about all I've got time for, and all I've actually got to tell you about this week before I start rambling and about things that no one really needs to know about. So yeah, I've not really got any life stuff to update you with. Things have been pretty quiet here, just enjoying the slightly cooler weather, and making the most of the cozy blankets and things like that. So yeah, that's all we've got for this episode. I'll leave it there, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching.